I decided to go live. Um, let's talk about it. The Lionsgate portal is open, and we're all being called forward. This portal opens you up to your majesty. It opens you up to your sovereignty. It is a portal of remembrance and awakening and awareness, and it's delicious and it's powerful and it's magnetic. And there's been a ton of light codes coming in. There's a ton of light codes coming in right now. I am getting my fix. um, But, we're out here, we're out in these streets, you know what I mean? Light workers, wave showers, 144,000, twin flames, divine masculine, divine feminine. We're all being called to task. We're all being called to step forward, to be the best version of ourselves, to have accountability of ourselves. Let me tell you, the strength there is in awareness and accountability. Know thyself. To thine self be true. How can you be true to yourself if you don't know yourself? Right? I'm laughing because I was out handling some business with my kids, and this guy comes up to me, I guess, trying to like push his Bible thumpingness my way. I'm trying to figure out how to word this, right? Because I'm in the Bible Belt, so obviously there's a lot of churches and stuff like that. Christianity is very big down here. Um, Having said that, I don't know what he was gonna receive from the conversation with me. His question to me was, "How do you view the Bible?" And I said, "Well, how do you view the Bible?" You know. And he was like, "The Word of God." And I was like, "Right, it is God inspired, absolutely. So are many other spiritual texts out there, right?" Didn't want to hear that. Anytime he says something to me, and I'm like, "Right, absolutely." And then you see it here, and you see it here, and you want to talk to me about Jesus or Yeshua, as I like to name him, and I'm like, we talk about him when he was in the Middle East, but what about the 20 or so years that he was in Asia? I'm like, let's not have partial conversations and let's not have a biased conversation. You understand? So, and I'm saying all that to say this. I was raised Baptist Methodist, right? Christianity is the foundation of a lot of the teachings. Yeshua is one of my greatest teachers. So is Mary Magdalene, right? They guide me a lot on this path. And there is nothing wrong with Christians. There's nothing wrong with Jews. There's nothing wrong with Muslims. There's nothing wrong with the Bible or the Kabbalah or any of the other biblical texts. It is how you use it and discernment and how you are living that expression of God within yourself, right? My life is a living expression of my relationship with the divine and my relationship with myself, right? Because I'm honoring God and loving myself. I am his child, right? I'm one of his children. So I'm loving him and honoring myself and honoring my children and honoring this life that he's given to me. But I don't restrict myself to a pulpit, even though I'm an ordained minister, and I don't restrict myself to a building, right? I liked going to church. Like I said, I grew up in churches. It was good for me for fellowship. It wasn't so great for me when it came to the teachings, because I find in many of the churches that I've gone to, um, I'm trying to think of one that I've gone to where this wasn't the case, but in many of the churches I've gone to, they are basing their teachings out of fear and don't necessarily have a deeper understanding of the text that they're sharing with us, or how it resonates to even their congregation, because maybe it was something that they weren't necessarily taught, right? We I can read the Bible and I can give you my interpretation of that passage, right? And so if I'm your minister, right, pastor, preacher, priestess, whatever you choose to call me in that moment, that's my interpretation of that text for you in that moment. Now, does that mean that that is the context in which that text was stated? Not necessarily. Does it mean that my interpretation of this context is the ultimate interpretation of it, and that you shouldn't you shouldn't formulate your own opinion? No, it absolutely doesn't mean that. It means that I was inspired in this moment, and this is how I'm viewing it, and this is God is talking through me, and I hope that it's serving you, but it's not going to be the same for everyone, right? Like, how many times has the Bible been used to promote racism, sexism, classism, and all the other stuff, right? Like, we're watching it play out in society, and the first thing people say is like, "Oh, but my Jesus, oh my God," and all this stuff. And I'm like, stop, 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 thinking that God is gonna do some dysfunctional ass shit because you are, right? And that was part of the conversation that I had with this guy today. I don't know why he came at me in the 8-8 portal. I'm like, boy, you picked the right ray of sunshine over here. You know what I mean? Because I know that he wasn't expecting the conversation to go the way that it went. I know he wasn't expecting that. I could see it in his face that he was thrown. He forgot to even hand me the pamphlet. Like, he was just trying to keep up with the conversation. And I'm like, no, but we're children of God. And he's like, yeah, but, and I'm like, you keep trying to butt it. I'm like, but why are you trying to ignore all of the aspects of God? How are you going to ignore that the God created this beautiful earth as well as you and me? Like, why are you ignoring that part? Why is that irrelevant? Why is it irrelevant that, Gaia was created but humanity wasn't? Why is it irrelevant that bugs were created? It's not. We're all a part of this, and Gaia was here before humans were. So is she less important? Right? He couldn't answer that. There were so many questions. He was like, yeah, but what did God do to show his ultimate love? And I was like, according to the Christianity story, he sent Jesus. According to Christianity, I was like, what about those that don't know Jesus? What about those that have no idea about this story? Does that does it mean God does not love them and has not shown to the people that he is loyal and faithful because they didn't do it that way? Right? And again, me and Yeshua, my baby. When I talk, me and Jesus got the dopest relationship. You know what I mean? That Christ light is in all of us though. And that's the revelation. That's the gift. That's the awakening. Like, knowing that Jesus the Christ, Autumn the Christ, freaking Katie the Christ, Christian the Christ, right? High Vibe Tribe, like, we all have that Christ light within us, and it is being activated right now in a massive way. So you have this push pull energy, right? Like, it is being activated for you to step forward, stand in your light, shine bright, shine as bright as this motherfucking sun is shining on me right now, right? Or you can play it small. You could try to hide in the darkness, but you have to understand, my beloveds, that there's a lot of light coming onto this planet. More and more lights, less and less places for the dark to hide, right? Everybody's shadow is coming to the surface. We're seeing that right now in the collective. Venus is retrograde right now, right? In the sign of Leo, of all things, right? So I know if you're a Leo, you're going through it right now. You got the Leo sun, you got freaking the Lions Gate, you got Venus going retrograde. You don't know if you're in love or in hate. Like, I get it. There's a lot happening. And it's a very intense time. Plus, we had that super full moon in Aquarius, right? So we have all this stuff coming to the surface where we need to deal with our feelings. We need to deal with our finances. We need to deal with how we're showing up in the world. We need to deal with our confidence. We need to deal with our businesses and our truths and our sovereignty, right? We need to deal with how we're coming forth in this world. Leo is the sign. Leo's my red carpet sign, right? When I see a Leo, they be doing too much, and I love that about them, right? But they're the red carpet. They're gonna freaking go grocery shopping in a ball gown. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're gonna have the most expensive sneakers when you're playing ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna know that that's a Leo, right? They love to shine bright. They're very confident. They're super fun, right? So you have all of that energy right now supporting you. Confidence, charisma, standing out, shining your light, being the best version of yourself. Like, all of that shit is being amplified right now. Plus that Aquarian energy of thinking about it on a broader perspective, seeing like the big picture. How can you bring newer things into your life to help, non-traditional things move forward, right? Like, how can we move things forward? So you got Leo coming forward, standing here in this fucking bright ass light, and the Aquarian energy being like, cool, take it, run with it. You got this. It's lit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna throw a little technology in there. I'm gonna throw a little expansion in there. I'm gonna throw a little higher learning in there and watch you be great. That's where we're at right now, my light workers, my way showers, my tribe. We're at the point where it's like time to be great. Sorry if I'm like wiping, I'm sweating. It's a heat advisory. I'm sweating my balls off, but it was so delicious for me to share this message with you in the actual sunlight as opposed to like the artificial light from the lamp that I had to come outside. So, suffering, but I'm gonna suck it up. Anyway, you got all this energy, right? Supporting you to move forward and to be the best version of yourself and to stand in your power, stand in your truth, stand in your sovereignty, know your luminosity, right? You have all of this really being supported at this time. You're gonna get tested, right? You're on the red carpet. What does that make you? Not only a star, but a motherfucking target, right? Celebrities, they have all the fans, but they also have fanatics, right? So understand that there are going to be people that are coming at you right now. They're going to be testing your sovereignty, testing your patience, testing your integrity, testing your morality, seeing if you are as confident and charismatic and strong as you're showing to be right now, as you're standing on the red carpet, or is it a facade, right? So many of you, my beloved, so many of you Your fear is not a failure. Your fear is of success. Your fear is being on that motherfucking red carpet and having all eyes on you because you feel like it's going to put a target on your back, right? And I get that. That has been my issue most of my life. Like, I'm like, I'm good because I'm not with the shit. In real life, I don't have the patience for it. You know what I mean? So you might say some shit on the internet and I might feel away and then like we find you in real life. Like that's why I used to avoid it. Now I'm a much calmer person, but that was how it started. So I get that. I 100% get that. You know what I'm saying? But you're a light worker, number one. So you're bright light. You're not, even if you try to hide in the dark, you can't. You can't dim that shit down for nothing. You can't. It's like being in the dark room and you see the little faintest light. It don't matter where that light is. If it's the little power button on your TV or the little green button on your phone, like you're gonna see that little light in the middle of darkness. That's who you are. That's where we're at. So just suck it up, buttercup, and be great. That's it. All right. But because you're on that center stage and because you feel like if I shine too bright, I'm gonna be a target, you're forgetting the biggest part of all of this. The biggest part of your task here in service as a light worker to this planet. You're fucking protected at all times. You're protected at all times. Safe, guarded, protected. Safe, guarded, protected. Safe, guarded, protected. Needs will always be met ahead of time if you believe it, if you trust it, if you move with it. But that's entirely up to you. That's entirely up to you. I'm moving forward right now and I'm putting myself on the carpet. I'm putting myself in front of the camera. I'm making myself visible because I know without a shadow of a doubt that there's a freaking army of angels surrounding me. And ain't nothing fucking touching me. So you can say what you want to say. You can throw shots, evil eye. I don't give a motherfucker about none of that. None of it. Because you're not touching me. I see the arrows come and they fall. Fall, fall, fall. And I think many of you are forgetting that you're anointed. You're forgetting that you're blessed. You're forgetting that you're sovereign. You're forgetting that you're protected. You got this 3D world, got you all wound up and thinking that like you can't do it. You're not capable. You're not good enough. You're not deserving. That's a fucking lie. It's bullshit. You're capable, deserving, worthy, valuable, and you are great. Right? You are great, and you're here to make a difference in this world, in your part of the world, whatever that looks like to you. All right? So you got this energy coming in, and this is the portal. When I tell you, I don't even want to say the veil is thin because I don't feel like that is a good enough interpretation. I feel like the door is just open. Like I felt that around August 4th, I want to say. Like I felt a door crack open. And then all this energy started flooding in, right? And so that's the energy that I'm feeling right now. It's like this door just cracked open and all this energy is flooding in. Flooding in, flooding in, flooding in, flooding in, flooding in, overflow. Like it's like somebody had, and this is for many of you too, with your power and your strength and your gifts because you're sleeping on yourself. Or you got these people out here making you play small, or you think that like, oh, if I show my gifts, people are gonna say something. They're gonna say something anyway. So go be great. Fuck them. Anyway, I know I'm a little aggressive today, but that's because we need to be in this aggressive Leo energy where we remember our power. Many of you have cut off your power. Think about like a water hose, right? Got all this water flowing out, and then somebody steps on the hose, or there's a knot in it, right? You might get a little water coming out or nothing at all. It might be a trickle, but it's not the same as when they take that foot off and all the water's flowing out freely. It is time to take the knots out of your hose, take your foot off the hose, and turn the tap up, baby. Flood this shit. Okay? Flood it, because guess where all the overflow gets to go? To the rest of the collective. Everybody's good. Everybody's good, right? It's like when you're in an area and there's like the water's run over, you know, like, and it's like all of a sudden the whole place is like flooded and stuff, and you're looking at it and it's like, oh, it's awful. It's not awful because now all these nutrients and other like needed ingredients have gone to areas that it might have reached because of that flood, right? So you need to look at things for what they are, the blessings that they are. It's all a matter of perspective, guys. Stop thinking that you are not good enough. You are more than enough, and your overflow is going to bless everybody else. But I need you to remember to fill up your cup first and foremost, right? It is not selfish to focus on yourself. People are selfish who tell you that you're selfish because you're not focused on their selves before your own self. Like, they're fucking retarded. It's too much. We're not doing that. We ain't doing that in the rest of this year, and we definitely ain't doing it into 2024. You got that, tribe? So we're taking our power back. We putting batteries in our back. We gassing each other up. we're standing in our light. We're gonna be luminous. We're gonna be sovereign. We're gonna be dynamic. We're gonna be living our motherfucking best lives, and we're gonna support one another. So, whatever you're doing in this world, you got a website, you got a business, you got a product, you got some shit you want to share, put it at the bottom, yo. I'm so down always with just sharing blessings with every single person. So definitely comment down below. Let's see how we can support one another. If you guys need coaching or readings, or if you just need someone to talk to, you can always hit me up at theenlighteneddaughter.com. But again, let's be here to support one another. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of intense energies that are moving. Fucking Aries and Scorpio just went into the north and south node. Like, there's so much happening right now. I had to say, I couldn't even record really for you guys this week because I just had to sit with these energies. I was like, yo, and they're happening like a lot of the stuff is happening in major placements in my birth chart. So it's super important to know your birth chart too. Know thine self. Know thine self, right? Anyway, I'm sweating like the first slave. I feel like Kizzy up in this bitch. But I love you guys so much. So I'm gonna go um, dry off and get back to work. This is great. You know what? It's a great place. Great way to cleanse the skin and to lose some weight. So here's to the sexiness of 2024. Happy Lionsgate. Go be great. I love you. God loves you. And angels surround you. Later, High Vibe Tribe.